This week on Music Worth Buying, we're going to be hearing from Radiohead, A Moon-Shaped Pool.
And the latest album by Esperanza Spalding, Emily's D+Evolution? Emily's D+Evolution? Hello and welcome to another episode of Music Worth Buying. My name is TJR. I'm a musician and music writer.
And my name is Robert Kinsler, and I'm a music writer and a musician.
And so we've both got two albums that we're excited to talk about. And you've got a rather anticipated release. But first, we're going to talk about the latest album by Esperanza Spalding. And of course, Esperanza Spalding, she of course is the artist, the jazz artist, who took away the Best New Music Artist Award from Justin Bieber a couple years ago. It is so unfair.
Yeah.
He's like way cuter.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed about this.
Yeah.
Anybody can tell that Justin Bieber is way cuter than Esperanza Spalding. Guy. Anyways, and of course, we reviewed the album.
Yeah, we did.
I discussed it on the channel.
You brought it to the show.
Thought it was an amazing album.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it was on our old channel or the new channel. I think it might have been on the old channel.
Yeah.
But so in which case, you can't see it anymore,
Yeah.
unfortunately, unless I upload it to the new channel.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
Give us your reaction on that. But at any rate, this is her latest album. I'm calling it Emily's D+Evolution. It might be Emily's D+Evolution. I'm not sure. I'm just calling it Emily's D+Evolution for the sake of ease on my part here, and because I'm verbally challenged. But at any rate, though, this is her fifth studio release, and the album is co-produced by Spalding and longtime David Bowie collaborator Tony Visconti. Now, this album, the title itself, Emily is a, how shall we say, an alias for her. It's her middle name.
Okay.
And we've seen artists do this before where they create a persona that they do their album as. And I guess it's because that they can say things that maybe they wouldn't have said if it was just them. I don't know. I'm not sure I quite understand that, but that's the gist of it. Mm-hmm. I think if you're a songwriter, you're a songwriter, and you're just going to say whatever you're going to say. I mean, I don't know. How different would Sgt. Pepper have been if the Beatles hadn't said we're Sgt. Pepper, but they not the Beatles? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. At any rate, though, I don't want to really explode my brain with that thought process. So, at any rate, though, now, she's considered a jazz fusion artist, but I just think she rocks.
Uh-huh.
And I just think also she's just a killer blend of R&B, soul, hip-hop, rock, pop, and in this case, even some elements of prog rock and metal as well. And in fact, I'm going to play a song here. It's called Good Lava, which I think is definitely with tracks like this, we're getting into a heavier side, musically speaking. Check this one out, see what you think.
In your discerning shoes, I see right through the Kool-Aid around your glowing fuse. So let loose that mountain of good times, good love, wherever you wanna.
You know, TJ, thank God we live in a world where you can still have music adventuresome and original and totally kind of blows your mind, at least on the first listen, like Esperanza Spalding. I mean, that's great. That's exactly why I love to be challenged by music like this. It's like, is this, we've been dumbed down by just like in a world of pre-programmed beats and pre-programmed, auto-tuning on the voices where everybody, and I'm not going to pick on anybody, but like, typically when I go to the gym, they'll put on a channel, and I swear it's like every single song, sounds basically like it was done in the same studio, the same day of the week, with the same
samples.
The same samples, the same musicians that were involved. It's like so unoriginal. It's great that in 2016 we can still get this.
And the thing is, back in the 70s, when a band like Yes could have a top 40 single with Roundabout,
right,
and there was the kind of FM rock radio we had, this would have been FM radio the FM rock radio. That's what this would have been. It would have been just prog rock.
It's almost like prog rock meets Sly and the Family Stone meets Earth, Wind and Fire meets War meets someone and it's very cool. It's like great vocals, great musicianship, but it doesn't fit inside the little box. And like you said, it's amazing that an artist like this almost gets praised today, unless they have especially when they don't yet have a big name recognition.
And I'm glad she won the award when she did. I hope she wins another one. And I looked at when that, and of course I'm a voting member of the Grammys. And when she won, I was pleasantly shocked and amazingly surprised and glad that my fellow Grammy members, voted for real talent over just popularity. And there's nothing wrong with being popular. Nothing against being popular, but just real talent versus popularity.
Yeah, exactly.
And this whole album, when you said mind blown, that's basically it. If it's like that commercial that you've seen recently where the head explodes and the purple smoke comes up, like that.
Exactly.
Now
it's very different.
This album now comes. Now there's different versions of it. There's a standard version. There's a deluxe edition. This is actually the Deluxe Target Edition, which is just like the Deluxe Edition, except for the addition of one extra bonus track, which is a live track. But otherwise, if you get the Deluxe Edition, which I recommend because it's worth the extra money for the extra stuff and the extra tracks, this comes in a three-way gatefold here, and here's front and back. It does have a booklet. And the Deluxe Edition, I believe only the Deluxe Edition comes with an actual poster. So here's the booklet. Same as the cover there. There's the back. And inside, of course, we have lyrics and photos. Sometimes difficult to read depending on the actual background behind the lyrics. Sometimes some of the photo art gets in the way, but they are great photos. And I guess this is her in her Emily persona here, right here.
Okay.
There is an interesting picture, I think, at least I know on her website, where there's like she's two different people, and I guess one's supposed to be her and one's supposed to be Emily. And but at any rate, there we go. And so that's really nice. There is a poster here. The poster is a fold-out. It's actually a double-sided poster. We have we have first the cover, right there, and then on the opposite side we have this alternate picture, which looks like the back, but with Ms. Spalding there on the back of it there. This particular piece of photo art here, I think the next track I'm going to play especially makes me think of this picture here.
Okay.
And I'll explain why in a little bit.
Okay.
Now, on this album, there is one cover song, which is actually the song I'm going to play. I normally won't play a cover on this show, but I just have to because it's such a unique cover. But otherwise, for the most part, she is written the entire album herself, 99% of it, I would say. So she's done most of the writing on this album. So I'm going to play the next track here. This is a cover song that I am sure will create a real rift amongst people who like the original song. And I know for a fact that there are going to be people who are really going to hate this version, as well as there are people who are going to love it. I love it, like the original, but I know that some people are going to hate this, and I may even be doing her a bit of a disservice, because some people will think, well, if the album's going to sound like that, I don't want to hear it, amongst the people who hate it, because this is the way she's doing this is very radical. I'm sure she even realizes that it's probably can be very divisive. And this is a cover of the song "I Want It Now" from the motion picture Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
And I've always liked that song. And so here is the cover by Esperanza Spalding.
I wanna party with rooms full of laughter, 10,000 tons of ice cream. And if I don't get the things that I'm after, I'm going to
You know, on that, I almost don't know what to say. I mean, it's so creative, you know, and it's so revamped. You know, it's almost hard to process. On a first listen, I'm reluctant to say anything. I definitely want to hear it again. I mean, you can tell that an amazing amount of work went into that performance,
Yeah.
both from her personally and as well as the arrangement. I mean, it's very elaborate, very all kinds of things going on, and it's almost gets back to being the rock critic hat that I sent. You know, it's almost like I feel like I need to give that 3 or 4 listens just to process that.
I loved it from the moment I first heard it. I loved it just because it was so audacious. As I've listened to it more, I'm liking it even musically more.
Okay.
It does grow on you, but at first I just liked it because it was just so audacious.
Yeah.
It was like almost like, you know, I honestly, the first time I might have thought to myself, I honestly don't know if that really is good. But boy, are you audacious, and I love you for it. You know, I love you for just sticking a musical middle finger in the air at everybody like that. But now as I've heard it more musically, I'm liking it more and more. I love how maniacal it is. It is like, it's as if the character in the song is absolutely bug nuts crazy. You know, and it's just so maniacal the way it comes off. And now, let me get back to that poster here. I do kind of look at it, this back picture here, as this is the little girl saying, you know, I want it all, I want it now. Just seeing her here surrounded by all this material stuff. Now, maybe that's not what she meant at all. Who knows? But I do, after I heard the song a few times before I ever even opened up this poster. And then I looked at this and I thought, oh yeah, this is definitely fits in with that song. That's just my personal interpretation. But yeah, because all the stuff that she's surrounded by, I want it all, I want it now, that type of thing.
Interesting.
But anyways, just my thoughts.
Yeah, very, very interesting. You know, this is an album that makes you, you know, I have to hear it. I mean, if nothing else, it challenges you as a listener. That's clear, even just having heard these 2 songs.
And I'm just and this album, those 2 songs just scratch the surface.
Yeah.
Everything on this album is in some way different from everything else on it. So it's an exciting and challenging album. And so please, you know, go check this one out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now you, sir, have a rather anticipated album.
Right, to discuss.
So let's
now,
hear you talk about it. I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, so 2 days ago, they just digitally, kind of out of the blue, came Radiohead's 9th album, A Moon-Shaped Pool. You know, all I can say is some of the band's past albums, particularly, you know, The King of Limbs, their previous album that came out in 2011, were very, very much drenched in electronica or electronic sounds and stuff. What you will find about the band's new album is they've totally kind of grown or exploded into a new direction where it's very orchestral.
Oh, okay.
What I'm guessing, and I'm not the first writer to, you know, to kind of pick up on this, Johnny Greenwood, who's the band's lead guitarist, has composed quite a few soundtracks now, notably There Will Be Blood. That soundtrack. So I imagine because of that, he's working more with symphonic textures and stuff. A lot of those have been brought into the song. Almost every song benefits from the use of cellos and strings and kind of what you would perceive as orchestral sounds. So the band is still using electronic touches. There's no doubt about that. They're still using, you know, guitars and traditional instrumentation. But, you know, a lot of that is overlayered with orchestral sounds, and it gives the band a whole new soundscape. I mean, you know, I know bands that I'm a fan of, like Sigur Rós or even the Beatles, have used orchestras or orchestral textures successfully. Add to that list Radiohead with A Moon-Shaped Pool. What I thought we'd do is listen to a little bit of track 1, The Numbers, and hopefully a part of that we play, we can feature, you know, where at least in part the orchestra is used, because it is used across a disc.
I have to say, I'm very curious. My reaction to the last album was kind of
muted, right? When you say
I was like, I'm not sure. It's like I know radio. It's like I've liked a lot of Radiohead. They've made some masterpieces. There's music that I've made that I think is astounding.
Yeah.
And yet this album was like, okay, I know they're a really good band. I'm not sure I fully understand what they're doing with this here. I was a little bit more puzzled. I was on the more part of the audience that was puzzled by it.
And it took me weeks to get that, and I'd say a lot of the songs I found them interesting, but they didn't work for me live or until I heard them live.
Okay.
But this album already has a grip on me, and I think Tom York has never sounded more emotional.
Okay.
In terms of, like, you really feel like you're getting close to kind of the soul of who he is, even if you're not fully sure what he's singing about necessarily, but there's just so much emotion in his voice, and I think the orchestral textures, I think, build that up. But why don't we listen to a little bit of the numbers and then see what it what you think and what everybody else thinks.
I'm ready
too.
to check it out. Here we go.
Okay.
He holds us like a phantom. The touch is like a breeze. Shines this understanding. See the moon smiling.
Okay, so I'm anxious to get the album. I'm anxious to get it. At least if the rest of the album is anything like that, I'm anxious to get it.
It's like that in that the way orchestral, kind of shadings are used. But there's songs that are definitely more sparse, and we're going to hear one of those in a minute. There's ones that are definitely big, like "Burn the Witch," the lead-off track, the one that's got a lot of attention with the really amazing animated video. That one is definitely more kind of, I don't want to say it's like a hard rocker, but I mean there's more of an intensity and propulsion about it than like a song like this. It's a little bit more nuanced and stuff. But yeah, there's different emotions, different feelings on it. But these orchestral textures, I think, kind of tie the album together and kind of maybe give the band kind of, like a signpost where they are right now, perhaps. I mean, it's been 11. Well, I'm sorry. It's been like 5 years since the last album came out in 2011.
Hard to believe, yeah.
I mean, where did that 5 years
Yeah,
go?
it seems like yesterday.
Yeah, amazing. Now the album is only out digitally. We don't have any artwork to show you. It is coming out as a physical vinyl edition with the bonus tracks and on CD in June of 2016.
Yeah.
But here in early May when it was released, it came out just digitally. So don't have a lot of information and liner notes and things like that about it.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing. It comes out digitally first, and because I'm going to wait till it comes out physically. I'm not going to, I'm not going to purchase it until then.
Yeah, and I even though my wife and we purchased it digitally, but I'll probably buy it physically too because I want to see kind of what's going on with it and see if it sounds differently. But I'm just impressed. Like I said, I've been living with the album maybe about 48 hours here.
Yeah,
the more I hear it, the more I hear, and the more I'm falling in love with it. And like I said, I think it is very much more of an emotional album than the King of Limbs that came out. Their last full-length album.
Yeah, I mean, I liked this instantly, and I just let it play almost to the very end before I said, okay, let's start shooting again.
Yeah.
I liked it instantly.
Yeah.
And so
and I will say that maybe the second time I heard it, I played it with headphones on, and boy, did this album just blow me away. Then it came alive for me. And then I listened to it again like that. I've been listening to it, like I said, different places. I always try to do that with an album I'm excited about. Say, okay, what am I going to hear? And so far, that's been my most amazing experience is through the headphones. But but I think that fans of Radiohead will be pleased with this, and I think they might garner some new fans too. Maybe younger people that only know him from the King of Limbs. Maybe they'll give this a listen and then be a little bit more intrigued too with the kind of the mystique. What I thought we'd do for the final song, we're going to hear a little bit of. It's called Glass Eyes, and it has we'll talk about it after. Why don't we listen to a little bit about it and then we'll discuss it.
I am intrigued. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Path trails off and heads down the mountain through the dry bush. I don't know where to lead. I don't really care. The path trails off and heads down the mountain through the dry bush.
Once again, I let it play all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to see where this was going to go.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. The guitarist, you were saying while we were listening that the guitarist stamp, it might be more his stamp all over this album
than Tom York.
Say Tom York.
It might be just because he's working with an orchestra, I assume, with the soundtracks or something. But again. I don't know that. It's only digital. I don't have any liner notes.
We have no liner notes.
So I don't know. And all I know is I've read a few other reviews. After I had kind of made up my mind, I did some other reading online, but everybody's kind of just speculating also about this or that. But I think the one thing that everybody seems to to agree with, and all the reviews I've been have been very positive. And like I said, the album is very new, but just how Radiohead's been able to up the ante in terms of introducing an orchestra into their sound has been, I think it's pretty remarkable, you know. And I thought that the first day I heard it, and I go, well, you know what, I should give it a few more days. I listened to the album again this morning, and it's like, wow, it's still doing it for me. You know?
Haven't lots of bands in the past introduced orchestras
Oh
into
yeah,
their sound?
yeah, they have, yeah.
Is it that unique that Radiohead's doing?
Usually, I think most bands have done it earlier in their development. I'm thinking of the Moody Blues, the Beatles. You know, I assume Led Zeppelin, Kashmir. It sounds like it's an orchestra. I don't know if it is or not. It sounds like
but it's not like they went a whole album.
Yeah,
It's
no,
it's
whole
like
album.
an occasional song, maybe.
Occasional song.
The Rain song, yeah.
But here it's so seamless, so effortless the way they've incorporated it and how powerful the results are that it's, and maybe it's like I said, a band like Sigur Rós, it's always kind of been a part of their sound since early on. Here, I just wasn't that familiar, you know, hadn't really thought about it. I haven't seen them with an orchestra, you know.
Radiohead hasn't integrated into their sound this heavily till now.
Yeah, till now, exactly. Yeah.
Something that I can't get out of my head here. I mean, it sounds really great. I want to hear the whole album. This what I'm about to say has nothing to do with how it sounds. They release it digitally first. Then a month later, you know, CD and vinyl. Of course, they told everybody, of course.
Right.
Everybody knows this. I've always disliked when a band releases an album and then, without warning, like 3 months later, says, now we're releasing a deluxe edition.
Yeah.
I always feel like
gets
you're
me, yeah.
soaking the fans.
Yeah.
I almost kind of thought to myself, you know, are they kind of soaking their fans a bit here? Because, you know, the really hardcore fans that can't wait are going to just buy the download, and you know they're going to pick up the physical disc and CD. But of course, now, maybe I'm wrong here. At first I'm thinking, are they kind of soaking the fans? But then let's look at movies.
Yeah.
You know, we all rushed to the theater to go see the summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
I mean, this weekend I went and saw Captain America: Civil Wars.
Right.
Paid my money to go see it in the theater. I'm going to probably buy it again on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, I mean, I could wait till the Blu-ray and buy it, but I don't want to
Yeah.
wait. I'm going to
You
watch it
don't
in the
want- yeah.
theater. This just kind of maybe an extension of this. Like, I wonder if this, you know, like, we, you know, and windowing, movies are always windowed. You know, they appear in theaters first, generally speaking. Then they come to, you know, home purchase. Then maybe they come to Netflix. Just
Yeah.
depends on how
Yeah,
it
it depends how it
you know.
works.
But you know, music has for too long not been windowed, and now many artists are getting the idea. Oh yeah, window it. You know, Taylor Swift didn't release her album to digital streaming services. Buy it on iTunes first. You know, then finally we'll release it to the digital streaming. And I understand that; it makes sense. You know, you don't release Star Wars: The Force Awakens on Netflix the same day you release it in theaters.
No, of course
it's just
you don't.
stupid.
It's dumb to do
It's just
that.
dumb to do that. So maybe this is kind of a new business model. I don't, and I'm just guessing here.
Yeah.
Just a new business model. You know, we'll release it to digital download first. But they did tell everybody a month later it'll be physical, so you do have the option of
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah,
But I kind
interesting.
of did first think, are they
Yeah.
soaking their? Is this
Yeah.
kind of way to soak the fans who just aren't going to want to wait?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then that's their choice, isn't
Yeah.
it? I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe this is a whole different topic.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with the music. This has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the quality of the album.
Yeah.
But it's just something that just, as I was thinking about it, just the wheels in my head are going. I'm thinking about this because
Yeah.
it's a different. It's different.
Yeah,
to do
and I
it that
don't
way.
and I don't have any strong feelings on it. I hadn't thought about it. I mean, it's like, you know, there was no way I was going to wait for it. I had
Yeah.
to hear it, and
Yeah.
even just based on, you know, the one thing which was nice about what Radiohead did is they did the first two songs in the album. They released them, I guess, a few days apart in connection with amazing videos, very different videos. The second video is, you know, just features Tom York, and he's walking through these rooms and doors, and it's one of the most mesmerizing videos I've seen, even though it's a very simple concept. The first one is more elaborate, but it's all animated. But it got me excited to hear the new songs, and some of these songs actually have been around for a while, but they're different versions are done with Radiohead, maybe before Tom York has done them solo or something like that. And I think some of them have been floating around for quite a few years. But, you know, there's a real cohesiveness and a real, you know, magic to this album that is very palpable to me. I mean, even, like I said, 2 days after its release, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I'm looking forward to picking it up. I am going to pick it up when I want that physical version. I'm going to pick it up then. And I mean, yeah.
and I will say this is the most excited I've been by an album since the Magic Whip from Blur came out. I think that was
Oh, yeah.
about
And
a
you
year
were
ago.
excited about that one.
And that is borne out every time I hear that album. Continues to throw me, and I think my hunch is pretty good that this Radiohead album is going to do the same. I think it's going to be one of my top picks of 2016. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. So,
Well, thanks for bringing that.
yeah,
and
thanks for bringing
sharing.
Esperanza
Yeah.
Spalding in. Yeah, I mean she's fantastic too.
Yeah. And so hope you found this show informative, and hopefully find some more new music that you want to check out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We thank everybody from the bottom of our hearts who has, spread the word, shared the show on their social media, told others about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And anyways, though, till next time, my name is TJR, and you can check out my music at tjrmusic.com, at my website. And you can also join me on my YouTube channel, where I do all kinds of unique and interesting things, which is at youtube.com/TJRTheOriginal.
And my name is Robert Kinsler, and you can read my stuff all over the place, but you can start right here at musicworthbuying.com, and of course at ocregister.com you can read my concert reviews too.
Great. And we'll see you next time.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.